Okay, so I just thought to myself, just now, thought to myself, a very valid point. Okay, so many times, like even multiple times, even a week, I say how excited I am to see the world outside of this small little town of mine. And when I say I want to get out of this town, people are like, all people have to say is, well, the more you say you want to get out, the less likely it is that you will get out. Which is really stupid because when you're little, like seriously, I know so many people who tell their kids when they're young kids that like if you believe it, if you just believe it, if you dream it, if you think it, it'll come true. But when you get a little bit older and you say, I want to go do this, not in this town. I want to go do this, not in this town. I want to go do this, not in this town. It suddenly becomes the more you the more you say you want to get out of this town, the less likely it is to happen. That is so stupid to me. Seriously. Like my entire life, I've wanted to travel and see everything. I YouTube all the time just about different cultures and different traditions and customs anywhere else in the world because I live in a very small town in southeast Idaho. I mean, how many people do you know that are from a small town in Idaho? Period. Like, I don't get it. And even when I meet somebody who ended up here but was born or grew up or started out in a different state, I'm like, how the hell did you get here? Like, I mean, if it wasn't like a job transfer or a job transfer of your spouse or your family member or something, how did you get here? Because even I know multiple people who I've even graduated with who go to who go to school and they graduate high school and either they immediately go on an LDS mission and or they go to college in this state. I don't know many people who don't go out of state for college, but even the ones that do go out of state for college or out of state for something else, they always end up getting stuck right back here. I don't get it. I don't understand the gravitational pull. I mean, for me, this is home. This is home. I am planning on living here for a while. I mean, living here. That's different than like what I mean by living here is by like, okay, my home is here, my house is here, but when I say I want to travel, it's like, I mean, living on the road does sound kind of fun, but I mean, to start out, I think I would want to go one place and learn and experience and then come back home and plan another vacation, plan another adventure to somewhere else. And go off on that other adventure, and as soon as that adventure's over, I come home. I come back home and I plan another adventure and then back and another and back and another and back and another and back. I can do that multiple times. I can do that as many times as I think absolutely possible. But the thing that annoys me so bad is that when you're little, your parents and everybody says, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you can say anything. You can say an astronaut. You can say a ballerina. You can say a magician. You can say a unicorn, for God's sake. And your parents will be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, okay, cool. Like, whatever. Like, elementary school teachers say, what do you want to be when you grow up? When I was in elementary school and when I was in middle school, like in English and grammar, they always said, okay, write out what do you want to be when you grow up and why. And why. Not like, how are you going to get there? Like, when I hit high school, that's when my teacher was like, okay, write down what you want to be, how you're going to get there, and so on, so on, so on. And I don't get it. Like, I know so many people, like, seriously, there is a serious trend that has been broken by one couple, I know for sure. Only one. most people in this town graduate high school, almost immediately go on an LDS mission, come back from the mission, go to it's either go to college or get married immediately after your mission. That's what happens. I know I know two people, one couple who kind of broke that trend. They both graduated with me and then waited until the next school year started. So at least 3 to 5 months. They waited and then they got married. I was so proud of them because they broke that trend. Everybody, and they are LDS. They were in seminary class in school and stuff like that. And I don't know anybody else who was in seminary or is deep into seminary and that kind of stuff. I don't know anybody else who didn't go on a mission immediately after high school. I mean, really, like, seriously, it's either graduate college, immediate mission, or graduate immediate mission, and then maybe college. But you come back and you get married, you have kids. I know so many people who are even 3 years older than me and have done exactly that. Graduate, mission, college, babies. Some of them have multiple babies now, and I'm like, what? That is not living. I'm already into it is right now it's November 2018. I graduated in May of 2018. I was going to go to college I was going to start college in September. And then I got a job and I decided I like working. I like having a steady income, and I like working for my own money. I mean, I still live with my mom in my mom's house, but I pay rent. I have my own job. I pay all my bills. I pay car. I pay insurance and all that crap. I live with my mom, but I pay like I would have paid, like I would have paid grandma girl, like would have paid anywhere else, like except for like utilities and stuff. Like I pay everything else. But okay, reel it in all the way back to my point. Like, everybody says, like, even in school, you're taught, if you can believe it, if you can dream it, if you can believe it, if you can see it, you can achieve it. You were told that in school, and not many people are encouraged to follow through on their dreams and follow through on their beliefs. I mean, it's crap. It pisses me off so much. Like, there are so many things I want to do in this life. I'm still working to be able to do those things. I mean, you still gotta pay to do things you want to do, which I am doing, and I'm planning out what I want to do and what I want to do it and where I want to do it, where I want to go, where I want to travel, where I want to learn, where I want to experience, because I know nothing about the world. Y'all, I didn't know Oregon had a coast till I was 17, and I didn't know Washington had a coast till I was 19. That says a lot about me. My family traveled a lot when I was younger, but it's exactly that. Like, I was younger. I had a huge traumatic thing happen to me when I was 12, and a whole other thing that was connected to that first thing when I was 14, and it totally killed my memory, and I don't remember a damn thing. I remember small details of a lot of the trips that I took with my family when I was younger, but, like, I don't remember almost any of it. I mean, when you're little, of course you don't remember it, but, like, I have no memory. I can't even remember what I did yesterday. So, it's like, what, like, I don't want to be stuck in this town forever. Like, I mean, seriously, I understand having roots and having a home. I understand that. I am so for that. Like, seriously, my roots are deep, deep embedded into these Idaho spuds. I'm serious. Like, I'm a russet. I'm a russet at heart, man. I got that. But I don't want to stay in this box. Like, seriously, this is a box. It's a freaking fishbowl, guys. Like, I don't even, I don't know many people who go, like, so I don't know many people who don't go to college in Idaho or in Utah. Like, if you go somewhere that doesn't border Idaho, I applaud the hell out of you, man. I am so happy for you. And, like, so, like, coming back, like, having a home, this is home to me. This is where my roots are. Like, this is where my family is. I have friends scattered across the country, but this is where my family is. So, of course, this is where my heart will always be. But until I learn about the world, like, I can't, like, I didn't like school. Who does? Like, I wasn't a fan of high school. I wasn't a fan of school, period. I mean, I like seeing people every day and talking to people and seeing my friends every day and whatever. But, I mean, like, just, like, sitting in school and dragging through all the classes and stuff. I mean, you have to, like, whatever. Of course I did. But I can't learn about the world unless I go out and learn it myself. Like, experience is the best teacher you can possibly have. I need to go out and see things and learn things. Like, for my senior trip in May, the end of May, beginning of June, I went to the Oregon coast with my mom and her friend, because her friend had been there before. I hadn't. I got there and I was like, whoa, this is weird. Like, what? I was so confused. And the first thing I wanted to do was swim in the ocean, because I had never done, I mean, I may have done that, but I was so little, I don't remember it. I mean, when you're little, you don't remember anything. Like you just don't remember those things. You grow up and you forget. But, like, I went and stood in the sand. I stood in the sand, and I just couldn't, like, what was I see? Like, I didn't understand. Like, it was such a new thing to me, and that was just, I mean, it was just on the Oregon coast. I mean, like, it was so amazing to me, and it was, like, it made me want to learn more about the world. Like, I've always loved anything under the sea, anything about the sea, and I mean, like, I have mermaid scales tattooed, and I have, like, 3 different color mermaid tails, for God's sake. And I was like, yeah, let's go swimming. And, like, I stood right on the shore and just let the waves come up and wash out and come up and wash out and come up and wash out. I couldn't believe how fast that happened, because I'm like, whoa, this is so great. Like, seriously, it's like, I don't like science and biology and stuff, but I would totally love marine biology, because just the way, even the science of the waves and stuff like that, it's like a natural phenomenon to me. Like, I grew up right next to Old Faithful in Yellowstone, and everybody's like I didn't even know that was one of the 7 wonders of the world until I was 18 years old, and I'm like, why? Like, it's like, what? It's boring. And I mean, I learned in my mythology class, it's like, well, because you grew up right next to it. Of course you don't think it's that big of a deal, because you grew up right next to it. And I think oh my God, just realization right now. I just realized I grew up right next to it. One of the 7 wonders of the world. I grew up right next to it. And I just think, oh, okay, whatever, because I grew up right next to it. Everything that's out there, I don't know anything about it, because I haven't been there. I've been here next to Old Faithful, and I know so much about it. I've seen it 1,000 freaking times, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Cool. I don't care. Like, I don't understand why people, like, I mean, every single time I go, there's always, like, Chinese, Japanese, like, Indian people, like, whatever, and I'm just like, okay, cool. But I didn't realize it was one of the 7 wonders of the world until I was 17 or 18 years old, and I didn't understand why until, like, literally just now, because it's not, something isn't a wonder to you unless, how do I want to word this? Like, it may be one of the wonders of the world, but I grew up right next to it, and I have experienced it so much that it wasn't that big of a thing to me. Like, everything about the world, even the smallest things, like the smallest waves, tide pools, like, what, anything, like, I'm just like, that's so weird to me, because I'm alien to it. I don't know anything about it. I've never seen it, experienced, or felt how it feels to watch it, be in it, be there in that moment. I mean, you see this stuff on TV and in movies and stuff, but it's so different than how you feel when you get there. Again, reeling it back in. I was like, you can't tell kids, like, if you dream it, believe it, or see yourself doing it, then you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. And then turn around, and I still have a hunger for adventure and the great unknown and not giving a damn about anything. I mean, I just need to, like, not give a damn for like a week and go explore the world. And then I think after that, I'll be able to handle my adult responsibilities a lot better and easier and without as much complaining. Not completely without complaining, but not as much complaining. Because, I mean, sometimes, like, you need to know. Sometimes you just need to know. I mean, people read about it and stuff. I mean, you can read about it and get your knowledge that way. But I mean, I can't comprehend what I read. So when I read something, it's not like I can read a whole book and I can't remember it, or I'll read like one sentence over and over and over and over and over, and it just won't click. Like I can't do that. For people who can do that, like Belle can do that. Belle has been everywhere because she can do that, and she likes to do that. I don't like to do that because I don't understand it and I don't get it. I need to go see and experience it to be able to know it. And I just want you to realize that you don't, like, when somebody says, like, when you grow up hearing one thing when you're little, I mean, not a lot of people are like, go up to a 5-year-old and be like, what do you want to be when you grow up? It's like, I want to be an astronaut. It's like, oh, that's next to absolutely impossible depending on how smart you are right now. It's like, and a kid's not going to, like, you're not going to say that to a kid. Like, you're not going to say that to a kid. You're just going to be like, okay, cool, whatever you want to be, you can be. And then as they grow up, as a kid grows up, they realize, oh, this is more impossible. Like, not a lot of people do this. Not a lot of people can do this. This is really impossible, so I don't think I'm going to do it because the world says that I can't do it, and it's too hard for me, and only certain people can do it. That is bullshit. Like, no, I'm not going to stand for that. Like, I am going to be an advocate for all those little kids out there who want to learn and want to do whatever it is that they want to do, for God's sake. Like, seriously, I'm like Lilo. If you can't see all these people, all these different pictures of different people on my walls, that's because I have never experienced anything like that. Like, anything out of the ordinary and anything of the unusual, I am so into it, dude. I mean, I'm a very interesting, eccentric little person right here. I mean, seriously, I have a serious hunger and thirst for anything, like, anything out there, anything I can possibly learn. I want to go see it, experience it, feel it, all of these things. Like, you kill a little kid's spirit when you start them out thinking that they can be and do anything they want, and then as they grow up, slightly teaching them and slightly letting them figure out that that's absolutely impossible. Like, absolutely impossible when it's not. I mean, we need to start teaching our kids that it is a lot harder to reach certain points and to do certain things. We need to teach them that it's harder, that it's not less likely or less possible. It's just harder. I mean, you gotta work for it. You gotta work for things you want. You gotta work for things you want to do and things you want to be in life. You can't just, I mean, you need to be able, a kid needs to be able to dream and imagine anything at all. And when people, like, there's somewhere in a kid's life and development that their character turns from totally anything's believable, I can jump off this building right now and I'm gonna fly, to, oh, magic isn't real, the tooth fairy isn't real, nothing's real because my parents do it. Like, it's straight from, like, anything is possible to none of it's real. And I mean, I'm autistic. I'm a very like black, white, all or nothing kind of person. But when you take a kid's mind, let them believe for a certain amount of time that something is absolutely possible, that anything is possible, and then they grow up in an environment that is like, this isn't as possible as we may have taught you once upon a time in your life, because it's like, I mean, it's just not as likely. Like, seriously, back to an astronaut, like, it's not impossible, and it's not like, I mean, it may be less likely just depending on how much you want to work for it. Like, this is crap. Stop teaching your kids, like, stop telling people that they can't do something. Like, when it comes back around to me, like, I want to get out. Like, yeah, my dog's barking, but I want to get out. I want to come back, because, like I said, I am dug down deep in my roots right here. But I gotta go see something else. I gotta experience other things, because there's a whole world out there that I know a lot of people that never got to see. And you can't, I can't even express it to you. You can't instill this imagination and hope and thirst for something wild and amazing and all these insane things in someone, and see it in their eyes, see how excited it makes them and how happy it makes them. And like fairy tales, you read your kids fairy tales, and just thought of the magic makes them so happy. I mean, Disney, like, take them to Disney World, the thought of all that magic, it makes them so happy. And then they grow up, and somewhere along that journey, that they lose that idea of, okay, I can be whatever I want. I can make something magical out of myself and change this world in some way. You can't take that belief from them. And that belief was almost taken from me, and I realized that it's not going to be taken from me, because like, you grow up being told one thing, and then you're grown up and you say one thing and you're told the exact opposite. We can't let that happen anymore. I can't let other kids be told that when you grow up you can do this, but when you're actually grown up, we're going to tell you the exact opposite and crush all your dreams, basically. I can't let that happen anymore. I mean, I need these kids to be able to believe in something unimaginable and glorious and wonderful and amazing, and I just can't. I want you to know that magic is real, and you can do the impossible. You can be the amazing. You can be unstoppable. You can make magic. You can create magic. You can believe there is magic, because there is. It's everywhere. It's just inside you. And a lot of people will tell you that there's no such thing as that, but somewhere deep down, you know there is. You want to know there is. You want to believe it. It's under a lot of crap and a lot of bullshit that you gotta deal with, but it is still there. The adventure is still there. You've just gotta find it.